to contest the election. The move kickstarted a chain of events that would lead to one of the most stunning downfalls in American political history.
Thank you very much. Please sit. Thank you. This is, without question, the latest news conference I've ever had. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. And I want to thank the American people for their tremendous support. Millions and millions of people voted for us tonight. And a very sad group of people is trying to disenfranchise that group of people.
We have the weakest president we've ever had in the history. He likes everybody but America.
And it kind of just works together because there's a lot of controversy about Trump and there's a lot of controversy about the flag.
All these phony indictments is all going to bite the Democrats in the butt because it had to happen to Trump first. This is so that the American people can accept it for when Trump comes back, and the revenge tour is going to be the sweetest.
I mean, I'm no brilliant person here, but what I saw, and it's not just because I'm for Donald Trump, let the best man win, you know, but when it's stolen, it's stolen.
Hides evidence. Criminals hide evidence, not honest people. So, over the next 10 days, we get to see the machines that are crooked, the ballots that are fraudulent, and if we're wrong, we will be made fools of. But if we're right, a lot of them will go to jail. So, let's have trial by combat.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore, and that's what this is all about. And to use a favorite term that all of you people really came up with, we will stop the steal. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections but whether or not they stand strong for our country. Our country has been under siege for a long time.
We are gathered at a time when democracy is in crisis. Recent polling shows that 39% of Americans believe the election that just occurred, quote, was rigged. You may not agree with that assessment, but it is nonetheless a reality for nearly half the country.
Madam Speaker, I have constituents outside this building right now. I promised my voters to be their voice. In this branch of government, in which I now serve, it is my separate but equal obligation to weigh in on this election and object. Are we not a government of, by, and for the people? They know that this election is not right, and as their representative, I am sent here to represent them. I will not allow the people to be ignored. Madam Speaker, it is my duty under the U.S. Constitution to object to the counting of the electoral votes of the state of Arizona. The members who stand here today and accept the results of this concentrated, coordinated, partisan effort by Democrats, where every fraudulent vote cancels out the vote of an honest America, has sided with the extremist left. The United States Congress needs to make an informed decision.
2 months after the election, an organized mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to halt a count of electoral college votes that would make the Biden win official. And while some still question the uprising's authenticity, the day quickly spun out of control, with hundreds injured and one woman shot to death by Capitol Police.
Good chase. When you're ready, sir. Yep. You're right behind me.
You tell me when.
When you're ready, sir.
Hey, brother, we're boots on the ground here. We're moving on to Capitol now. I'll give you a boots on the ground update here in a few.
Multiple Capitol entries! Multiple Capitol entries!
Who's behind me?
He's gone around. We're all clear now.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had a election. Let me see.
We're still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles to include bottles and rocks, and hand-thrown chemical-grade fireworks.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country.
This is now effectively a riot.
1349 hours declaring it a riot.
This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special.
Okay, guys. Apparently, this tip of the spear has entered the Capitol building.
You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil. I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
I got there, basically the president just had finished filming the video, and I think he was basically retiring for the day.
Was there any discussion about the president releasing a second video that day?
Not that I recall. When he finished his video, I think everyone was like, day's over. People were pretty drained.
If I give this up, they're going to have to run next to at least this Capitol we can defend. We got to hold what we have.
Get your pens off!
Yeah. The fuck?
Take your pens off.
But we say day over, there were still people in the Capitol at that point, weren't there?
There were people in the Capitol, but I believe by this stage, law enforcement, and I'd have to go back and look, but I believe law enforcement was either there or moving in or going to take charge. I just say people were emotionally drained by the time that videotape was done.
Emotionally drained? At the White House? Here's what was happening at the same time at the Capitol.
Lock the shields! Lock them together! Lock them together! We need fresh patriots in the front! Jimmy, get him to the back! Get him to the back! Get him to the back! Let's get some fresh faces up front!
Another officer unconscious. The sheriff. What sheriff?
Everybody, we need gas masks. We need weapons. We need strong, angry patriots to help our boys. They don't want to leave.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack yesterday, and to those who broke the law, you will pay.
Can I speak to Pelosi? Yeah, we're coming, bitch! Oh, my bitch, we're coming for you too, fucking traitor!
You do not represent our movement. You do not represent our country. And if you broke the law, you can't say that. I'm not gonna, I already said you will pay. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defied the seat of justice. It's defiled, right? See, I can't see it very well. Okay, I'll do this. I'm going to do this. Let's go. But this election is now over. Congress has certified the results. I don't want to say the election's over. I just want to say Congress has certified the results without saying the election's over, okay?
They've got the gallows set upside this Capitol building. It's time to start fucking using them.
But Congress is certain. Now Congress is
Yeah, right.
Now Congress
I didn't say over, so let me see. Go to the paragraph before.
Start making a list, put all those names down, and we start hunting them down one by one.
Traitors get guillotined.
Mobilize in your own cities, your own counties, storm your own Capitol buildings, and take down every one of these corrupt motherfuckers.
Okay? I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack yesterday. Yesterday is a hard word for me.
Just take it out. The heinous attack.
Good. Take the word yesterday, because it doesn't work with the heinous attack on our country. Say on our country. Want to say that?
No. So we fucking need to have 30,000 guns up here. That's true. Stop the steal! It's our country, we want it back! Fuck these Democrats! Where's that?
My only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote. My only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote.
The president has not spoken all day. We've seen nothing of him. He had one event, but it was closed to the press. He's banned from Twitter. He's banned from Facebook. But now he's back. And he's just released a video, not inciting any violence, not calling on his supporters about a stolen election, but calling for a smooth transition of power. Let's listen.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engaged in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay. We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high, but now tempers must be cooled and calm restored. We must get on with the business of America. We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. And to all of my wonderful supporters, I know you are disappointed, but I also want you to know that our incredible journey is only just beginning.
Hey! Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are patriots. Look at this guy. He's got covered in blood. God bless you.
I got shot in the face with some kind of plastic bullet.
Any chance I could get you guys to leave the Senate wing?
We will. I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
Okay, just want to let you guys know this is like the sacredest place.
Thank you, divine, omniscient, omnipotent, and omnipresent Creator God, for blessing each and every one of us here and now.
He said a prayer. When he was asked to leave, he left.
After being escorted out of the building, Jake went outside and told people to go home.
You have to go home now. We have to have peace.
So what are we going to do? We're going to obey our president. We're going to do what he asks. Respect the landmarks. Respect the Capitol.
We will find you. We will arrest you. We will jail you. And we will deport you. Please don't be too nice. Like when you guys put somebody in the car and you're protecting their head, I said you can take the hand away, okay?
The first time a president has ever faced impeachment for a second time, and the first president to face an impeachment trial after leaving office. The former president facing one count of incitement of insurrection after the siege of the Capitol on January 6th. The indictment saying he was singularly responsible for it. The trial taking place there at the Capitol, the Senate chamber, a crime scene just a month ago, now serving as a courtroom today.
I want to be very clear. I unequivocally condemn the violence that we saw last week. Violence and vandalism have absolutely no place in our country and no place in our movement. Making America great again has always been about defending the rule of law, supporting the men and women of law enforcement, and upholding our nation's most sacred traditions and values. Mob violence goes against everything I believe in and everything our movement stands for. No true supporter of mine could ever endorse political violence. No true supporter of mine could ever disrespect law enforcement or our great American flag. No true supporter of mine could ever threaten or harass their fellow Americans. If you do any of these things, you are not supporting our movement, you are attacking it, and you are attacking our country. We cannot tolerate it. Tragically, over the course of the past year, made so difficult because of COVID-19, we have seen political violence spiral out of control. We have seen too many riots, too many mobs, too many acts of intimidation and destruction. It must stop. Whether you are on the right or on the left, a Democrat or a Republican, there is never a justification for violence. No excuses, no exceptions. America is a nation of laws. Those who engaged in the attacks last week will be brought to justice. Now I am asking everyone who has ever believed in our agenda to be thinking of ways to ease tensions, calm tempers, and help to promote peace in our country. There has been reporting that additional demonstrations are being planned in the coming days, both here in Washington and across the country. I have been briefed by the U.S. Secret Service on the potential threats. Every American deserves to have their voice heard in a respectful and peaceful way. That is your First Amendment right. But I cannot emphasize that there must be no violence, no law-breaking, and no vandalism of any kind. Everyone must follow our laws and obey the instructions of law enforcement. I have directed federal agencies to use all necessary resources to maintain order. In Washington, D.C., we are bringing in thousands of National Guard members to secure the city and ensure that a transition can occur safely and without incident. Like all of you, I was shocked and deeply saddened by the calamity at the Capitol last week. I want to thank the hundreds of millions of incredible American citizens who have responded to this moment with calm, moderation, and grace. We will get through this challenge just like we always do. I also want to say a few words about the unprecedented assault on free speech we have seen in recent days. These are tense and difficult times. The efforts to censor, cancel, and blacklist our fellow citizens are wrong, and they are dangerous. What is needed now is for us to listen to one another, not to silence one another. All of us can choose by our actions to rise above the rancor and find common ground and shared purpose. We must focus on advancing the interests of the whole nation, delivering the miracle vaccines, defeating the pandemic, rebuilding the economy, protecting our national security, and upholding the rule of law. Today, I am calling on all Americans to overcome the passions of the moment and join together as one American people. Let us choose to move forward united for the good of our families, our communities, and our country. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
This morning, President Trump waking up without his favorite megaphone.
Let me ask you, should I keep the Twitter going or not? Keep it going?
Twitter permanently banning the commander-in-chief's personal account with 88 million followers after an initial 12-hour lockout following Wednesday's riots at the U.S. Capitol.
Here's a question for you. Just how far are the radical left and inside the Beltway bandits willing to go to stop him? We all know they hate him for winning the fight to protect life, for exposing their deep state, for draining their precious swamp. And they already know he'll crush Biden. So like a pack of rabid wolves, they attack. So let's impeach him. Let's get tainted radical left prosecutors to charge him. Let's conspire with Hillary and the FBI with fake stories about him. All to distract from Biden's incompetence, weakness, and money-grabbing corruption. But here's the thing, he'll never blink. That's called having the courage of your convictions. And it's why he's our president.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Trump says this time he'll beat Biden. But 60% of voters don't want Trump to be president. The only way Biden wins is if we nominate Trump again. The American people are ready to move on.
What's Biden's secret weapon? Donald Trump is the GOP nominee. Then Biden wins the White House and gets the House and Senate, too. It's easy to see why Democrats want Trump. It's Biden's ticket to re-election.
And there it is.
Yeah.
Let's just take that in for a second. You do see some anger in the eyes. And I don't like the ghoulish coverage of it. CNN got the image leaked to them before the rest of the media. That tells you everything you know about the process. Your reaction, this does elicit an emotional response.
Well, I would hope that people understand what time it is. I mean, we are in a cold civil war with the un-American left. They have decided that they will use the quote-unquote legal system as a weapon against political opponents.
Have you seen Donald Trump's mugshot yet?
I did see it on television.
What'd you think?
Handsome guy.
The former president raking in $7.1 million in a record-breaking fundraising haul after his latest arrest and booking in Fulton County, Georgia, just 3 days ago. According to people familiar, Trump raised over $4 million on Friday alone.
We need a landslide so big that the radical left cannot rig it or steal it, even if they try.
At Trump's rally, a bonfire of conspiracy theories.
Have you watched the January 6th hearings?
I have.
What do you think?
I think they're a bunch of bullshit.
Why?
Well, because do you have both sides, or are you getting one side of the story?
You mean like the side that attacked the Capitol?
You really believe that happened?
I was there.
Okay. I have a lot of people that were there too. And saw things that it wasn't what they say it was.
But there's been hundreds of Trump supporters now charged. A lot of them have pled guilty.
And do you think it's right for those people to have those people in jail and not get any justice in our American system? Are you kidding me?
Do you think it was right that they attacked the Capitol?
They didn't. That was an inside job, buddy.
On the trial here, it's going very well. This is a Biden witch hunt deal. It all comes out of the DOJ. It's to interfere with the election. Our company has turned out to be much stronger than anyone even thought. The financial statements are much lower than the actual numbers. The actual numbers are much higher. We're in the process of proving that. We already have proved it. They had Mar-a-Lago valued at $18 million, the Attorney General, with the judge. We're working in coordination with the judge, and it's worth approximately 50 to 100 times that amount. This is a witch hunt. It's just a bad trial, a very unfair trial. The only time the statute's ever been used for this is this. This is a statute that doesn't give you a jury, doesn't give you anything. It's a pure political witch hunt, but we have the facts on our side, so the company is much stronger than they anticipated. Much stronger than anyone really understood. It was a private company, so nobody understood it. The assets have very little debt. We have a lot of cash. It's a great company, and we're happy with the way it's going. But it's a witch hunt. There's no question about it. Getting back to Congress, we think Mike Johnson's going to do really well. He's popular. He's smart. He's sharp. He's going to be fantastic. I think he's going to be a fantastic speaker. I believe that will happen. We'll see what. You'll let me know when I come out. I'll be out in a couple of hours.
Do you think Giuliani's going to take a plea deal? Will Giuliani
I don't
take a
believe
plea
it, because I've spoken to Mark Meadows many, many times over the years, and he strongly believed the election was rigged. Now, of course, you know, deranged Jack Smith and the prosecutors, they go after somebody for years, and they say, look, here's the story. We'll give you nothing. We'll erect a statue to you, or you're going to go to jail for 10 years for having done nothing wrong. So, you know, a lot of people have to make that decision. Some people would never make that decision. Other people would. But Mark Meadows always felt it was rigged. The whole thing was rigged. It was rigged, and it was stolen. And because it was rigged and stolen, our country's gone to hell. You take a look at the border, you take a look at Israel, that would have never happened. You take a look at Ukraine, that would have never happened. Our country's going to hell. You just look at energy independent we were, and now we're not energy independent. We're not even close. We're buying energy from Venezuela and lots of other places, and we have more liquid gold under our feet. We're a crime-ridden nation. We're a nation in decline, all because of a rigged and stolen election. Come for us. You know how you spell us, right? You spell us, U.S. I just picked that up. Has anyone ever thought of that? I just picked that up. A couple of days I'm reading, and it said us. And I said, you know, if you think about it, us equals U.S. We had that all set to go, but then we had a little election that went astray. So we have to be careful. You got to get out there and you got to watch those voters. You don't have to vote. Don't worry about voting. The voting, we got plenty of votes. You got to watch election night. You know, it used to be election day, election night. Now it's election month. Now it's election period. Some of these things go on for 53 days. It's terrible. Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world. And he's the leader of... Right? He's the leader of Turkey.
Yeah. Willie, first of all, I just picked that up. Us and U.S. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Don't worry about voting. Secondly. Third, Orban, of course, maybe he's never even visited Turkey. I don't know. Maybe the leader of Hungary has visited. But it's troubling to me. He calls Orban one of the strongest leaders and says it in a wonderful way. Orban, of course, is a person who shut down all of his opponents politically. He's tapped reporters' phones. He's destroyed independent news agencies. He's led phony tax investigations into reporters that were critical of him, chased them from the country, brags that he's an illiberal. That they have illiberal democracy and not Western-style democracy. And again, there's a guy who keeps thinking he's running against Barack Obama. Not doing well.
Donald Trump is the only president in American history who has refused to guarantee the peaceful transfer of power.
Joe Biden,
he lost the election and he knew it.
To become the president.
He betrayed millions of Americans by telling them the election was stolen.
Stop the steal.
He ignored the rulings of dozens of courts. Rather than accept his defeat, he mobilized a mob to come to Washington and march on the Capitol. Then he watched on television while the mob attacked law enforcement, invaded the Capitol, and hunted the vice president. He refused for 3 hours to tell the mob to leave. There has never been a greater dereliction of duty by any president. Trump was warned repeatedly that his plans for January 6th were illegal. He didn't care. And today, he celebrates those who attacked our Capitol. Donald Trump has proven he is unfit for office. Donald Trump is a risk America can never take again.
The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges, how it started. In the failing New York Times by an anonymous, really an anonymous, gutless coward. They sacrifice every day for the furniture and future of their children. Tim Apple. Mike Pounds. I know words. I have the best words. Yosemites, Nambia. Thailand. you have voter ID to buy a loaf of bread? The Democrats, ooh, there was a mosquito. I don't want mosquitoes around me.
I'm a very stable genius.
The disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection? I tested positively toward negative, right? Thank you, everybody.
Yes, I
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once. Sinks, right? Showers. And what goes with a sink and a shower? 10 times, right? 10 times. Wow, but not me, of course, not me. You want to wash your hands, you turn on the sink, the water comes up. No, get those lights off! Off! You have a shower. It's no good for me. Remember the dishwasher, you'd press it, boom, there'd be like an explosion. One of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water. And the worst president in the history of our country, who is cognitively impaired, in no condition to lead, and is now in charge of dealing with Russia and possible nuclear war. Just think of it. We would be in World War II very quickly. God bless the United States. Right in.
Slammed by a dizzying array of legal troubles and indictments, Trump would take the stand to face accusations that his company inflated his asset value to secure loans, that he organized the January 6th Capitol insurrection, and that he illegally attempted to subvert the 2020 election. For the former president, things were looking bleak.
It looks like he is now getting out of his vehicle. Let's hear what he has to say.
Thank you very much for being here. I really believe this is a very sad day for America. This should never happen. If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election. I thought the election was a rigged election, a stolen election, and I should have every right to do that. As you know, you have many people that you've been watching over the years do the same thing, whether it's Hillary Clinton or Stacey Abrams or many others. When you have that great freedom to challenge, you have to be able to, otherwise you could have very dishonest elections. What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it. I've never had such support. And that goes with the other ones, too. What they're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an election There's never been anything like it in our country before. This is their way of campaigning. And this is one instance, but you have 3 other instances. It's election interference.
When you go to bed at night, do you worry about going to jail?
No, I don't, really. I don't even think about it. I'm built a little differently, I guess, because I have had people come up to me and say, how do you do it, sir? How do you do it? I don't even think about it.
He doesn't even think about it.
Now the former president, Donald Trump, is inside the federal building where he will be placed under arrest, Jay.
We should just take a moment here. This is a historic day, and not in the good sense. This is the second time a former president, Donald John Trump, has been arrested and arraigned. The first time it's on federal charges.
This is something that they will be learning about in history books for a very, very long time, forever.
Arguments are underway in a lawsuit that seeks to keep former President Donald Trump off the ballot in 2024. A group of Colorado voters filed a lawsuit regarding Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election leading to the January 6th Capitol riot, saying this should stop him from becoming president again. But Donald Trump's lawyer, Scott Gessler, has another take on the lawsuit.
Their case is incredibly weak, and they don't prove much of anything except they dislike him. That's really what they've proved.
When I'm back in the White House, America's enemies will now once again, and they're going to know it, that if you try to kill our citizens, we will kill you. We will kill you. I told them all that. We had no problem. You know, we had no problem. 3 years ago, we had no problem. For 4 years, nobody even... This is unthinkable. I mean, I just watch and see what's happening. It's unthinkable. This couldn't have happened. Mark, couldn't have happened. Although you maybe were more deeply involved than anybody, but I don't think you even believed a thing like this could have happened, Mark. If you spill a drop of American blood, we will spill a gallon of yours. We do not...
With yesterday's ruling, the former president is now barred again from making any remarks targeting witnesses, prosecutors, or court staff. To be clear, this gag order is separate and apart from the one imposed in his New York civil fraud case, in which Trump has been fined $15,000 for violating it not once, but twice. Maybe it's a pattern. Because after Judge Chutkan imposed the gag order today, Trump again went on the attack, going after former Attorney General Bill Barr, a potential key witness in this case. He called the judge a, quote, Trump hater, and he threatened President Biden with payback, almost all of which might be a violation of said gag order.
Ultimately, Donald Trump seems intent on pushing these buttons. He's had a lot of opportunity to walk it back. Instead, he continues to advance his conduct.
I remember with that Chris Christie, a guy shouts out, he's a fat pig. No, he shouted out, Chris Christie is a fat pig. Then they shouted out, Bill Barr is a fat pig. He's a slob. He's a fat pig. You're not allowed to use the word fat. You're not allowed to say that. So they say, Bill Barr, sir, he's a fat pig. And I say, listen, Bill Barr is not a fat pig. Chris Christie is not a fat pig, sir. But I said that because I just heard somebody call somebody a fat pig. No, we're not allowed to call those guys fat pigs. How about going home to my wife on the shower, you know, the golden shower, they called it. And I had to explain that to our great First Lady. They said this thing with the golden shower. The golden shower was a problem for me. And he goes, thank you. All right? Well, thank you very much, and a very big hello to a place where we've done very well, Sioux Falls. Thank you very much, Sioux Falls. So, Sioux City, let me ask you, how many people come from Sioux City? And I apologize for those lights. The only place I don't have a light. so that means we're going to have to wing it tonight, okay? There's no light. They give us plenty of lights, but not to read this crap. Look, they wrote me a beautiful speech. I might as well throw it right out the window.
It's quite a time. I mean, I think we talk a lot about how immoral, how dangerous all of these threats are that Donald Trump is making. Talk us through why this is such a problem in attacking potential witnesses in a case. I mean, if you were a prosecutor, if you were a judge, beyond obviously the violence, which is very important, what else are you worried about?
Sure, you're worried about whether or not a witness is going to be intimidated and be reluctant to share incriminating information against the former president out of fear that one of his followers is going to do something physical to that witness. You know, in mob cases, you know, one of which I tried when I was a public corruption prosecutor, we relocated people, you put people in the witness protection program, you did a whole variety of things to allay the fears that people have when they feel threatened. And that is not fundamentally different from, I think, some of the concerns that witnesses potentially could have in this case, or these cases.
You held on to those documents when you knew the federal government was seeking them and then had given you a subpoena to return them.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Can I talk?
Yeah, what's
you
the
mind?
answer?
Do you mind?
I would like for you to answer the question.
Okay, it's very simple to answer.
That's why I asked it.
It's very simple to, you're a nasty person, I'll tell you. We will evict Joe Biden from the White House, and we will finish the job once and for all. We're going to make our country greater than ever before. We have a big, big advantage over everybody because we have what's under our feet. You know what I mean? The liquid gold. The great silent majority is rising like never before, and under our leadership, the forgotten man and woman will be forgotten no longer. Will be forgotten no longer. You haven't been forgotten. With your help, your love, and your vote, we will put America first, and we will very simply make America great again. Thank you, New Hampshire. God bless you all. It's been a great honor to be with you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Well, today, Donald Trump Jr. will take the stand at his father's New York fraud trial. The former president, his two oldest sons, and the Trump Organization are accused of inflating the values of their properties to obtain financing and tax benefits. They deny any wrongdoing.
Today, Judge Engoron ruled that the former president's daughter, Ivanka, does have to testify in this case. Ivanka's lawyers had challenged the subpoena issued by the New York Attorney General on the basis that an appeals court this summer ruled Ivanka should not be a defendant due to the statute of limitations. But Judge Engoron sided with New York Attorney General Letitia James, who had said in a court filing this, quote, while no longer a defendant in this action, she indisputably has personal knowledge of facts relevant to the claims against the remaining individuals and entity defendants. But even beyond that, Ms. Trump remains financially and professionally intertwined with the Trump Organization and other defendants and can be called as a person still under their control.
At the end of the day, this is basically a kiss of death for the business organization. This will probably be a termination of the business and a liquidation as well.
Wow.
Don Jr., also, because this confusion, I mean, MSNBC is dancing on your guys' grave. Did they also take the ability for the Trump Organization to operate in New York? Did they take your business license? Because you can't really parse what the truth is with these people. What actually happened? What did they do besides the money they're coming after? What about your business license?
Dissolution. It seems the judge isn't exactly sure what that meant based on the hearings today, even. Our own lawyers and before I got more into the political game, I did real estate for 25 years, and I've never even heard of anything like this. And that's what's crazy. You can talk with a team of very sophisticated lawyers, and they're like, we don't know because it doesn't make any sense. We've never seen any of this before. But yes, they are in effect trying to do that. If you read the letter of the law, theoretically, my cabin in upstate New York, because it's owned in an LLC, that is a corporation, and therefore, because I'm a part of it somehow, that has to be disbanded. And so then what or who actually owns my cabin at this point? It's that this has been done in such a roughshod manner. No one even knows what is real or what isn't. No one can make any sense of it. And it seems like, based on that, everything we've even heard today from the hearings today, that even the judge himself isn't quite sure what he did. But, I guess he stuck it to Trump. So that's okay, and it doesn't really matter.
This is what we're up against. Again, I think the people understand that. They see what Joe Biden's doing. You see the checks, you see the wire transfers. You wonder why the grandchildren are getting checks from the Chinese government. Those are all reasonable questions, and yet no one asks them. Our mainstream media, the people in D.C., unwilling to ask it, but they want to throw Trump in jail for 1,000 years and/or the death penalty. It truly sick stuff, but this is why we fight.
Don Jr. never holds back. Really good having you on, Don. Thank you so much.
I should have worn makeup.
I think that crooked Joe Biden is not only dumb and incompetent, I believe that he has gone mad, a stark, raving lunatic with his horrible and country-threatening environmental open borders and DOJ, FBI weaponization policies. He is a mental catastrophe that is leading our country to hell. We'll end up in World War III because of this man, and for no reason whatsoever. Thank you. More than anything else, I say, I don't want help in getting the vote. I only want help. It used to be called Election Day. Now it's called Election Period because some of these things last for like 2 months, right? I said, that's all I want. I want people to work because we went back and we did great. And then the vote comes in and then it was looking great. And then all of a sudden, this horrible thing happened. And by the way, it's all down. People know it. We had judges that didn't want to get involved. They were afraid. Everybody was afraid. They were afraid of the subject. It's a disgrace. What happened to our country is a total disgrace, okay? Disgrace. Do you know that if I got indicted, but because the people know me so well, they know it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. They know that. And think of it. They say he questioned the election. He questioned, well, everybody in this room questioned the election. The Democrats questioned 2016. They were all standing up. They were forming cards. They were forming all sorts of things. And those are the same guys that now that say it's so corrupt. Washington's a corrupt place. Remember this. There are far more of you than you think. You don't see them. You don't see them. I know people in Beverly Hills. I see them on television. We will stop Trump, but they go in and vote for me, you know? It's true. It's like you think it's woke. It's not. You look at the percentage of votes and everything else, if you can count on it, which you basically can't. But look, you just keep your thoughts and because you happen to be doing the right thing. There are many, many more of you than you understand. There are many more of you than there are of them, and a lot of them are you.
There is nobody that can help us more than Trump can.
I would rather have a presidential nominee who's not been indicted or who has not been convicted.
People aren't willing to say something against Trump for fear of losing their party votes.
The era of Trumpism has moved to an even darker phase. The former president in legal peril.
I am willing to go to jail if that's what it takes.
And yet, he still remains the leading Republican candidate for next year's presidential elections.
I think the American people are making it clear that they want President Trump back, so the debate's pretty much over. If you see
hasn't been a single ballot cast in this primary yet, though.
See all the polling, you can ask, hey, are you guys supporting President Trump? President Trump?
Yeah. We're at a Trump rally, so one would expect that. Basically, your position that this party is Trump's party, there's no room for debate, no room for discussion.
This is President Trump's party. Yep, thank you.
That's my president!
Yeah! Let's go, Donald Trump!
Trump's the dick? Yes, he is. Trump's the dick? Yes, he is. Trump's the dick? Yes, he is. Trump's the dick? Lock him up. Lock him up. His racism should also be on trial. His white supremacy should be on trial.
He's not anti-American. You are.
How am I anti-American?
Because you're attacking a good man.
I haven't even said anything.
How does this change this country potentially?
I don't think it does. I think it's going to rile up his supporters, and I think it's going to give a bit of smug satisfaction to the people that vote against him. I think that maybe that question being asked about the Georgia investigation as well as 1-6 might yield a different reaction to the country, but I don't know if this is really going to tip the scales all that much.
What exactly are we saying that he did? His lawyer went to jail for this same situation for a couple of years. So what is the crime? Is it a crime? The
There
reason
are people who say it's selective prosecution, that this would not.
everything
ordinarily
is
get-
selective prosecution. The reason why Donald Trump became popular in the first place, and the reason why these populist movements, is that the citizenry have become fed up with the lack of accountability for those in power. We have no accountability in our financial systems. We have no accountability for the bankers. I mean, our Congress trades stocks with information they get making laws, and they do it to great success. And they won't stop it because they're the ones in charge of making the law about it. And instead of bringing accountability to the rampant corruption that is surrounds our government and our financial systems, the Supreme Court just changed the definition of corruption. Rather than prosecuting it, rather than holding people accountable, they just went, how about this?
Former President Donald Trump may no longer have the unwavering backing of his party, but there's no question he still hogs the headlines.
I'm the only candidate who can make this promise. I will prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily.
God bless you all.
He just fell on what stage? He's at the Air Force Academy. He actually fell down? Well, I hope he wasn't hurt. I hope he wasn't hurt. But it's the whole thing is, look, the whole thing is crazy.
We put a cap at $2,000 a year on prescription drugs for seniors, no matter what their cost. 2, 10, 12, 15. Oops, stepping on it's black. Anyway.
Does anybody think he's going to make it to the starting gate? I mean, the guy can't find his way off of a stage. Look, here's a stage. Here's a stage. I've never seen this stupid stage before, right? I've never seen it. But if I walk left, there's a stair. And if I walk right, there's a stair. And this guy gets up. Where am I? Where the hell am I? Where am I? Nah, he's terrible. Terrible. You know, I'm much tougher on him than I used to be. Out of respect for the office, I was never like. He's the most corrupt president, the most incompetent president we've ever had. But when they indicted me, and then again and again and again, I was never indicted. Now I'm setting records. Al Capone was not indicted so much. Alphonse Capone. If you looked at Al Capone in the wrong way, he'd kill you. He was not indicted like me. What they don't understand is that I am willing to go to jail if that's what it takes for our country to win and become a democracy again.
And so it goes. With post-presidency Donald Trump still polarizing the nation he led for 4 tumultuous years, as the Justice Department closes in around him like an ever-tightening noose. And while his detractors finally got the mugshot they'd long been after, for now, it remains to be seen if Donald Trump will end up behind bars.